So hi, Hal. Very good afternoon. So I'll be taking up the the reports sections in Zoho Books, and as well as we are just going to deep dive into the Zoho Analytics integration, and with the Zoho Analytics, and we are just going to see how well we can make our reportings in a better way, and we can generate the reports accordingly. So before we go into it, so I would like to quote you the agenda here. Our main agenda will be I'll be just going through each and every topics which I'm going to which you are just seeing it on your screen. So the first will be the introduction. We will just have a quick brief that how the reports can be custom, as in like we can handle the report section in Zoho Books. And before having once the introduction is done, we will have a quick overview that how the reports within Zoho Books we can make use of in a further way, that how we can handle it. And once we have gone through all the reports, that what we have it in, and later on we will be going into the customization, because that might be the important part wherein each and every business might handle. And once all the customizations are done in Zoho Books, each and every business will tend to have their own customization, which more than the Zoho Books thing, you might need some customization. So that comes into the picture of Zoho Analytics. Okay, so I'll just give you the quick overview, so what Zoho Analytics can do. And after that we will be just I'll be just helping you out in how to integrate the applications, as in like Zoho Books and Zoho Analytics. And once we have successfully integrated, so I'll be just helping you out in how we can customize the Zoho Analytics in a better way, that each and every user can customize the reports in the way that they wanted. Okay, and all right, so once we have just seen all these agendas, and at the end we will have a quick recap. And later on we have a team, and including myself, who will be assisting you with the question and answers, if you are going to just come up with some kind of questions you might have, definitely. Okay, so without any further delay, we will dive deep into the Zoho Books reporting, that how we are going to handle it. Okay, before we get into the Zoho Books reports, right? So every business would have the a unique overview sections, as in like what we are going to see in a day in and day out business. Okay, so within that, when we are going to see the Zoho Books reports, we have approximately 75 plus reports which are available in Zoho Books. All right, and the first thing will be the the profit and loss report. So over here we are just going to cover the important overview reports, wherein each and every business would need the reports that they have to cater, and they have to use it on a daily basis. Okay, so the first thing will be the profit and loss report. Okay, so over here Zoho Books will give you the basic profit and loss report, wherein usually we might have all the income and the expense account. All right, so within the profit and loss report, what Zoho does is that we have a date range, wherein you can customize the date range, as in like, let's say for example, some might need to check the profit and loss report for the previous month. All right, so for that case, we have given you the date range, wherein you can just see whatever the date range you wanted to see. And the other thing will be the report basis. So some would like to see the profit and loss based upon the accrual, and some would like to see it based upon the cash basis. So over here I'm going to go with the accrual basis. Okay, and moreover, over here, when I'm going to hit a run report, I'll be able to see all the income and the expenses which we have it been displayed over here. All right, and on top of it, let's say for example, I have a profit and loss report, but I would need to see how my business is well performing in the current market trends. Okay, so the important thing is, like, I would like to compare it and see like how well I'm performing for the last year, or right now what is the trend. So in that case, we have an option to compare it based upon the particular periods, and I can just give the period, and I would be able to just filter it and see and how what is the profit and loss report for each and every accounts. All right, and moreover, okay, I have seen the comparison for each and every month, or a particular periods, or a particular years, but on top of it, I would like to know what is the comparison based upon certain values. Say for example, if it is of a reporting tag, if it is of a branches or locations projects, over here I am going to give the reporting tags, and I'm going to give it based upon certain departments, or whatever the reporting tags which I have. So in such a way that I will be able to customize the profit and loss head, and I'll be able to see them under the separate sections. And moreover, that's you can just add your columns over here, and we can generate the P&L report. And without any further delay, we will just go into the horizontal profit and loss report. So similar to that, how we have seen it in the profit and loss, the same way horizontal profit and loss works. But over here we will get a good layout, wherein we will be able to see what is the net profit and loss for our expense as well as the income. So this gives a good picture that wherein what is the the respective profit and loss which we have earned. Okay, likewise, like what we have seen over there, we will be able to get all the customization, we'll be able to filter it, we'll be able to see the date range, and we'll be seeing the horizontal P&L report. Okay, so I have got my P&L report, and the important thing is that every business would need this, and based on this they would be running the market trends, and they would need to see that. So one is that the balance sheet. So within the balance sheet, over here we would be able to see the balance sheet based upon the certain date range, as in, like, let's say for example, until previous year. Okay, I would need to see what is my business is performing well. Okay, I can even generate a report for the balance sheet, and I will be able to see that for each and every ledgers. Okay, whereas when we are comparing it for the profit and loss, we'll be able to see only income and expenses, that what we have seen right now. Okay, but whereas when I'm going to get the balance sheet, my balance sheet would give me all the the account heads which we are having, right? So over here we will be able to see each and every the balance sheet account heads, we can just see them. And likewise, over here we will have a certain period wherein we will be able to compare the balance sheet, and we'll be able to see the values for each and every year correspondingly. Okay, likewise what we have seen it in the profit and loss report. Got it? So and moreover, one thing is that I have a balance sheet and I have a profit and loss report. I won't be able to come and see every month or every time when I'm going to see them. So the good feature that what we have it in the application is that the schedule reports. Okay, so within the schedule report, what we can do is, like, we have a certain frequency, as in, like, we can schedule it on a particular basis, as in, like, let it be daily, weekly, monthly. So we have given multiple frequencies over here, and you can just start your scheduling report, and you can just put your email recipients over here. Okay, and whatever the file format which you have to attach it, you can attach it, and you can save it, and you can configure your scheduling accordingly. So by this way, what will happen is that our automation has been scheduled at the certain frequency and the certain date wherein we have started. The balance sheet will start to generate the automation, that is the scheduling, and the respective recipients in the scheduler will automatically get an email notification along with the whatever the file format that we might have chosen over there. Okay, so now all of us, that is the balance sheet that we have gone through it. Okay, and we will be going through the next thing will be the I think we have covered all the three. So the next important thing is that the three major things under the business overview. So one will be the next three what we will be covering is that one is the forecasting, and another one will be the cash flow statement, and the moment of equity. So that is the three topics wherein we'll be covering in this section right now. Okay, so we have seen the profit and loss, we have seen the balance sheet. Now important is that how my cash flow has been generating for the particular month or a particular date range. Okay, over here I will be able to see the particular cash flow statements for each and every account, and I can see that how much is my investing and how much is my the cash balance what we have, and what is the ending balance that what we have at each and every frequent date range, that we'll be able to customize it and see. And next thing is that we have seen the cash flow, but I wanted to forecast and see that how well my business can perform, or we can just put it in this way, that how well my business can outperform in the current market trends. Okay, so now I'm going to the cash flow forecasting. So in the cash flow forecasting, we will have under this cash flow forecasting statement, we can give the particular date range under which date range you might be able to customize it, and we can give it. And you can even customize the report, as in like you might have some recurring invoice or recurring bills, so which might give some additional incomes, right? So we can configure it over here. And after that, once I have known that this is my recurring bills and invoices, and along with that I would like to add my assumption. Okay, so when I'm going to add the assumptions over here, so I might be choosing let me just take this for you. So once my assumption is done, I'll be able to see the forecasting report that once I have applied, I'll be able to see the forecasting, what will be the money expectations, what I can get it for the particular date range. So in such a way that I'll be able to see, so what can be my money that I'll be getting, what will be the expenses that I might be going on, and what will be the projected. So we will be able to project our cash flow for the certain date ranges that we are going to give. All right. So we have just seen all the overview section right now. So under the overview, so we might have covered most probably all the basic overview sections, and the last but not the least in the overview is that moment of equity, that what equity does our company owns actually. So you can just see the current year earnings similarly. So these are the basic business overview reports that we have gone through. Okay, so the next important topic would be the sales as well as the purchase and the inventory. So once we got to know about the overview, so the next three important thing will be my sales, purchase, and how much stock which I'm holding on. Okay, so these are the three important topics which we will be stepping next into the sections. So without any further delay, we will go. So the first thing will be the sales. Okay, so when I'm going to have a sales, so I would like to see whatever the sales which I can as in like the reports which I can generate. Is that the first thing will be, let's say I get a sales for a last previous year, but I wanted to see which customer has given me good business, so I can give him a good discount. So in such a case, sales by customer comes into the picture, and I'll be able to see the total business that what I have generated for him, and along with this I'll be able to see the total sales. And furthermore, we also have options to add you whatever the columns you wanted to add especially. And once you have added, we have even given you an option to choose whichever the entities you wanted to choose. Let's say I just wanted to see only the invoice but not the credit note. I wanted to see how much invoice I have raised. In that way I can just choose only the invoices, and I can generate a report and see that how much sales I got it from a particular customer. And also over here, wherein you are just seeing a blue color text, okay, wherein the other one is of a kind of black color. So within the blue color text means it is a kind of hyperlink, wherein when I'm going to click on that will give you all the invoices which we have raised it for the particular customer within the particular date range which we have chosen. Still furthermore, when we are going to click on it, it will just take us into the invoices which we have raised it earlier for the particular customer. All right. And okay, so we have just seen for the sales by customer. And okay, so likewise we will also be able to check for the particular period, and we can even compare it and see. Okay, and the next important thing will be the particular item. So let's say I have just sold a certain number of items, or a good number of sales last previous year. Okay, so in that way I wanted to see which item I have sold most in my business. So that will give me a good insight that which I wanted to focus in the upcoming year. So the next comes into the picture is sales by item. Okay, so within the sales by item, likewise we will have both invoice and the credit note. Okay, as we have seen it for the sales by customer. Now the important topic will be is that the group by. So let's say I wanted to group it based upon the customer. So wherein this customer we have sold this much quantity or this much items we might have sold to the particular customer. So when I'm going to choose it or group it based upon the particular customer, so I'll be able to see the customer name over here, and along with that I'll be able to see the total quantity I sold it for the particular customer and the amount. That gives me the breakup as well. Okay, similarly, not only the customer, we have multiple options to group. One thing is like customer name, another one will be the place of supply, salesperson, and the reporting tags which we have created. We are also providing that option as well. Okay, and once we have grouped it, we'll be able to get a good picture of it, and likewise we will be able to compare it, and we can also customize the report, and we will be able to schedule it, and we will be able to see them. Okay, and the next important thing will be the okay, this is the most required option or a report which everyone would be looking for. So I might be having some 10 people who is working, and I'll be giving and I'll be giving might be incentives based upon the sales that they did them. So I would like to see that how much ever the sales that each of my salesperson did, right? So in that way I'll be able to generate a report for sales by salesperson, and I'll be able to see them, and moreover, and I'll be able to compare it with a particular period, as in like how much this person sold, as in like made a sale last month, and how much is it for this month. I'll be able to compare it and see with as in like for each and every salesperson who are put up in my company. Okay, so that covers your sales. And moreover, when we're going into the sales, so we might be having some other few details which we wanted to look deep into it. One thing will be your invoice details. Okay, so likewise, that how we have seen the segregation for each and every sales that we did. So we would need to see the total invoices that we have raised it across our organization for a particular date range. So for that way, we can make use of the invoice details report. And within the invoice details report, you can customize it based upon the date range. Okay, likewise, and within the report by section, you can filter the invoices based upon invoice date, or is it an invoice due date, whichever you prefer. Okay, and the next important thing will be like the group by, like what we have seen it sometime back under the sales by item. We are going to see the same thing in the invoice details as well. So you can customize it based upon, as in like you can group it based upon the customer name, and you will be able to see all the invoices that we have raised it for a particular customer below the customer head, as in like you will be able to see them. Okay, now similarly that we have multiple options to customize, as in like group it, and you can group it and you can view them accordingly. Okay, and as in like I'm viewing them, but I wanted to export it in an Excel sheet as well. Yes, we have an option to do them as well. Let's say I'm going to export it in an Excel sheet. So over here I can just export my file, as in like enter my file name, and along with that I can, if you wanted to protect this file, you can enter your password wherein you wanted to protect. Okay, and let's say for example by default when you're going to export the Excel sheet or whatever the file format, that will give you all the columns. But whereas within the under the current view, when you're going to export them, that will give me only the the views that what I'm seeing it on the screen. Likewise, what you can do, you can customize the columns, whatever the column you wanted to view them. Okay, we have multiple columns. You have amount with tax and the total amount. Likewise, you can just customize the column, whatever the column you require it, and you can export them in a particular file format with the current view. That gives you whatever the columns you require, and along with that we are also giving you some options wherein you can customize it, wherein you can enter your notes in the PDF, as in like if you're going to generate it in a PDF, you can just give your notes and you can export them. Okay, that's all about the invoice details. So, and after invoice details, what we are looking to see is that AR aging details. Okay, let's say I have an invoice. Okay, but I wanted to see, there are two important things wherein we might need to know over here under the receivable sections or within the sales section. Okay, one is that the how much balance which I need to require from my customer. Okay, what is the outstanding balance that what we have it in a company. Now comes into the picture of customer balance summary. So under the customer balance summary, we will be able to see the balances what we are going to have. Okay, Over here you will be able to see the total the balances that what we our customer needs to receive it from our end, and we'll be able to generate the reports accordingly. So likewise we can even group it based upon whatever the field that you're looking for, and we can customize it, and we will be able to see multiple columns over here. Okay, so all these columns we can just see what is the opening balance, what is the receivable amount, as in like whatever the amount which we are supposed to receive. Likewise we can just see each and every columns one by one, and we can generate the report accordingly. Okay, so in such a way that I'll be able to recover the balances from my customer accordingly. Okay, and the next thing will be the important thing will be my AR aging details. Okay, so I have my customer balance summary, and I have just gone through my customer balance. But once I received the payments, I wanted to see that which customer pays on time. Okay, so that is the important thing, wherein which will even give a good credit in future if they ask for some good reasons. Okay, so now comes into the AR aging details. So AR aging details is nothing but we are just going to see whatever the invoices that we have it, um, whatever the invoices that we have it in the bucket that we are yet to pay, and how much is the invoice due date that we have it's been pending for the particular period. Okay, so now as in like let's say for example I would like to see for the previous year, you will be able to filter it based upon the due date, and until as in like the important catch here is that so whatever the date range which I'm going to choose it over here, based upon that your invoices will be shown. All right, and the next important thing will be my invoice due date. If I'm going to filter it based upon the due date, you can just choose it invoice by due date, and you can filter it all the invoices accordingly. So once I'm going to choose it for previous year until 31st of March 2025. So in some cases they might be paid later on, but until 31st of March whatever the invoices is not yet paid on time, that will be shown over here. Okay, and I can even customize the aging intervals. You can customize the aging intervals as 4, and which I did it right now, and I can even filter it based upon 15 days, or I can filter it based upon certain dates which I'm looking for, and also you can filter it based upon 4 weeks, that is like a month. So you can apply it and see, you'll be able to see whatever the invoices which are pending more than between 5 to 8 weeks, 9 to 12 weeks accordingly. Okay, and as usual that what we have seen it for the other reports, we will have an option to customize it. We are also giving flexibility to schedule a report accordingly. So over here once you are going to schedule a report for the certain date range, or as in from which date you wanted to start, so that will give you the good insight, as in like for each and every month you can get the aging details accordingly. Okay, so I think we have covered almost all the sections in the sales head. Now we are going to go ahead with the purchase set. Okay, similarly that what we have seen for the sales, we are going to see for the purchases. Okay, so under the purchases, like what we seen it for the customer, here comes the vendor here. So let's say when I'm going to generate a report for vendor, I'll be able to see that how much business, as in like how much purchases that we did it for a particular vendor, and you'll be able to compare it and see for a particular year and for which vendor you give more business, and as in like you can even gain some discounts stating that this is the value that we have given you as in like purchased for the last year. Okay, likewise we can even customize the report columns, and we can schedule it, and you can export them so by default, and you can filter, as in like usually all will be chosen in the filter by section, and if you still wanted to build, you can just choose whatever the filter you wanted, and you can view them accordingly. Okay, so now now when we are going into the purchases, so likewise we will be having the purchase by item, purchase by category, and all most of them are very similar. Okay, so as what we have seen it in the sales section, so here likewise we will also be able to group it based upon the vendor name, wherein we have seen for the customer name and the sales. Likewise we are going to see based upon the vendor name over here. Okay, and another important thing will be is that the for the payables. So what we have seen for the customer balance, we are going to see the same for the vendor balance. So when I'm going to generate a vendor balance summary, so I'll be able to see what my balance which I'm going to pay for my vendor. So you can just customize the report columns accordingly, as in like if I'm going to give the payable amount, I'll be able to see the total payable amount which I'm yet to pay to the vendor, and I'll be able to customize the report columns and view them accordingly. And similarly, you can just filter them based upon the reporting tags that whatever you have chosen over here, and you can even add some filters over here, and you can just generate a report accordingly. Got it? And similarly, that what we have seen for the AP aging summary, right? We are going to see here for the AR aging summary. So over here, when I'm going to see for the AR aging details or AR aging summary, so wherein I can generate the aging based upon the due date, or I'm sorry, here we are going to just see for the accounts payable. Okay, and for the accounts payable, we will be going for the AP aging details, and within the AP aging details, like what we have seen, same for the AR aging, and you can even customize it based upon the respective intervals, and you can customize the report columns and you can see them. Okay, and over there, if you wanted to include the vendor credits and the journals, you can just click on plus more filter, and you can generate a report accordingly. And if you wanted for any specific vendor, if you wanted to see, we have even given you a provision to choose the vendor, and you can view them accordingly. Okay, so I think we have covered most of the the payables and the sales right now. So like how important the sales and purchase is, like similarly inventory, that whatever we are going to for the inventory, the important inventory heads, whatever we are going to see is that what you're seeing it on the screen. So right now it will be the inventory summary and the valuation summary. Okay, so within the inventory summary, that let me say for example, whatever the stocks that you're going to hold, okay, that we will be seeing them in the inventory summary. Okay, so over here we also provided you an option to search. Okay, and once you are looking for any specific report, you can even search it over here, and that will directly take you to the reports seamlessly. Okay, and within the inventory summary report, you can generate until which month or which date range, as in like which date you wanted to see that what stock your company is holding on. You can generate it and see, you can see that how much is the quantity for the particular product we have ordered, what is the quantity, what is the stock we have, and also you can even group it based upon particular category. So we will be having this in the item creation page, the category which I am chosen right now. Okay, and the next thing will be is that when I'm going to filter it, so in such a way that you will also have an option to filter it. Let's say when I'm going to hold an inventory, we might be having multiple locations. Got it? So when I'm going to have multiple locations, I can even filter it based upon the particular branch or a particular warehouse, and whatever the stock tracking which I wanted to see. So let's say my company is going to handle the stock tracking based upon the bills and invoices, not based upon shipment and receives. In such a way, I will be choosing bills and invoices. And if you still want, you can customize, like for as in like if I wanted to see for only one item, I can filter it and I can additionally add them, and I'll be able to generate a report and see. So now this will give me the inventory summary for my warehouse head office. Okay, so you can just see how much is the stocks that your company is holding on, and at the end you will be able to see the total stocks your company has been holding on for the particular date range, as in like for the particular date which we have chosen over here. Okay, and we have just seen the inventory summary, but we have to see that what valuation does my inventory hold. That is one key important factor, or a thing that you wanted to know. So that will be inventory valuation. Okay, over here. So under the inventory valuation report, or a summary report, so I will be able to see wherein in the inventory summary, comparing these both the reports, wherein we have noticed one thing over here. So one thing will be in the inventory summary, we will be able to see what is the product in, what is the product out, what is the quantity which I sold, what is the quantity which I currently hold. But whereas I wanted to see the value for the particular quantity, so over here. So basically within Zoho Books, we will be handling the valuation for each and every items based upon FIFO method, that is first in first out method, FIFO, or weighted average method. Okay, so let's say within the inventory valuation summary, when we're going to generate it, I'll be able to see the total asset value what my particular item is holding on, like what we discussed sometime back. This is also having a blue color the amount name. When I'm going to click on it, I'll be able to see the total stocks or the total transactions that what we have handled for the particular item. Okay, so this includes your invoice, bills, your credit notes, irrespective of the transactions. Whatever the transactions we are using it for a particular item, that will be counted in your transaction, and all these transactions and all these valuation will be calculated based upon the valuation that we are going to choose when you're going to create an item. All right, so when you're going to create an item, you will, as we had discussed, you will be having either FIFO or weighted average method. Based upon that, the value will be calculated. All right, these are the three important reports that wherein we might be having to cover your sales, purchase, inventory, and the overview. But we wanted to see whatever the activities that my team did it. So to cover that activity, what we have is that the activity log or the audit trial report. So that will be the the important report that wherein we wanted to generate it, and each and every action that what my team is doing on will be covered in the activity logs and the audit trial report. So you can even generate it based upon the particular date range. If your date range is not coming over here, we have also given you the custom button or custom option here. You can filter the date range and you can generate a report accordingly. Likewise, we will also give you an option to customize the details, and you can even export them whatever the reports you're looking to do it accordingly. Okay, and before we winding up with this report, we have an important topic. Another important topic is that the accountant module. Okay, so within the accountant module, so we are just going to see some couple of reports. So I'll just show you whatever the reports we are going to see. Let's go. Okay, so I will be recording all the transaction in my organization. All right, but I wanted to see whatever the transaction I recorded in my organization, I wanted to see under one single pane, right? So I can just make use of this account transaction report. So this account transaction report, whatever that, as in like irrespective of the transaction, let's say invoice, bills, payments for your invoice or your bills or your journals or your credit notes. So irrespective of the transaction type, all the transaction will be posted under this head, and you'll be able to filter them and see. And also likewise, you'll be able to group them based upon the particular account or your particular transaction, or your contact will be the customer over here. Okay, and you can even customize your report column, and you will be able to see the total transaction that we have recorded all across the application, as in like organization. Okay, and the next thing will be the the next thing will be the trial balance. So likewise, that what we have seen for we have seen for balance sheet, that we have a trial balance also, which will be put up under the under the accountant section. So within the balance sheet, as you all know, that you might be able to generate it on a one particular date range, or as in like one particular date, wherein that will be getting you all the total company's financial transaction. But within the trial balance, wherein we have given you a couple of options, wherein or a privilege wherein you can even customize it on a particular date range, as in like if I wanted to see for previous year alone, that will give me for the previous year alone transaction under the trial balance report. Okay, and over here likewise we can even compare it and see, and I can click on customize report columns and see. But over here, the important catch which you all have to keenly notice is that when I'm going to give as of date for previous month, when I'm going to generate this report, I won't be able to choose this opening and closing balance. Okay, so why? Because is that when we are going to choose as of date, that doesn't have any kind of opening, as in like sections, as in like you wanted to have a particular date range which you have to choose. As in when I have just changed my section into the date range, that will give me the privilege to enter the opening and the closing balance. Okay, so we might have seen. And also you can even whatever the columns you wanted to customize it, as in like arrange it on a columns, you can arrange it accordingly, and you can even apply it. That sections will be changed in the below pane. Okay, so we might have seen most of the reports that what we are going to handle it in Zoho Books. Okay, so the important thing is that we might have some the usual reports, but we wanted to do some customization, right? So we also give you the privilege to do it. So under the profit and loss report, let's say for example, you will have a provision to customize the report column. All right, so and you will have a provision to customize the report. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead with this. Okay, I'm going to go ahead with the existing report. So okay, so we were discussing about the custom reports. Okay, so in the Zoho Books itself, so we also give you a privilege to customize a new report, okay, within the existing reports module itself. So over here, when I'm going to give a profit and loss report, as in like, let's say for example, I'll be able to customize the report, wherein whatever the report format or report the columns which I wanted, I'll be able to customize them. Okay, and even if you wanted, you can even filter it for one particular branch, okay, or a particular location, and you'll be able to see them values based upon your selection. Okay, and I'm going to choose the next section over here. And the important thing is that now let's say for example, all these accounts might have the default calculations. Okay, let's say I wanted to have only my income and the expense which I have to calculate it in such a way that you can enter your formulas here, and you can make use of your formulas, and you can compare your syntax, and you can do it a comparator, and you'll be able to customize it all these sections or all these accounts, and you can view the particular values accordingly. So likewise, you can customize the reports over here in Zoho Books, and we will also give you a privilege to configure the layout, and you can enter your report name and whatever the acts as in like descriptions you wanted to give, you can give over here. And the important thing, another important thing will be that the permissions. So let's say I wanted to give permission to only for the selected user roles and my accountants, or in such a way that I can choose the user role, I can give only this access for my staff, wherein they will have an option to view, export and schedules accordingly, and you can create a custom report. And once your custom reports gets created, it will be shown over here, wherein you can just access the custom reports whenever you wanted it, instead of going and generating a separate report each and every time. So wherein Zoho Books give you an additional privilege to configure your custom reports accordingly. So, and also your scheduled reports, whatever the reports that we have scheduled it for a particular date range, so we will be able to see those scheduled reports under the scheduled report set, and you can schedule and customize your reports accordingly. So we have seen the customizations that what we have it in Zoho Books right now. And so before we go into Zoho Analytics, okay, for example, as in like within the report section, we might have covered most of the reports or most of the heads, but on top of it, some users might have certain specific customization which would need an additional level of analytics or an additional level of report generation that we wanted. So now comes into the picture of Zoho Analytics. Let's say for example, I own a business, okay, and wherein I have 3 different companies, wherein I have created as a 3 different entities or 3 different organization in Zoho Books. And if I'm going to generate a report within Zoho Books, I won't be able to compare all these 3 organization reports and see under one single pane. Okay, now with the help of Zoho Analytics, what we can do is that we can integrate all your 3 Zoho Books organizations, example in my case, and I can integrate with Zoho Analytics, and I can make use of the reports. Before we dive deep into this, let me just help you out with how we can integrate your Zoho Books with Zoho Analytics. Okay, now over here, when we are going to integrate it, so we will have an option called settings over here. So under the settings, you will have an integrations and marketplace and Zoho apps, and over here you will have Zoho Analytics. So once you click on connect, you will be taken to this this page, wherein you will be able to see all your existing reports, and you will also be able to choose whatever the modules you want. As soon as we click on configure, you will be able to see all the modules that we have. And once you have chosen the modules, you will have an option to choose it, and for the respective modules, whatever the modules you have, you can choose it all in a single checkbox. And as in, like, if I wanted to choose only the fields which I want to do it, I can do it accordingly. And at what date range you wanted to have the as in, like, the sync to happen, I can configure it accordingly, and you can proceed to save and sync. Okay, once our sync has been completed, your initial fetch will be happening. Okay, so that will be in progress. So once your initial fetch will be done, your whatever the fields or whatever the columns that we have chosen over here, so that will be synced with your Zoho Books. And the another thing is, like, once you have integration is done, so you will be able to see all your analytics dashboard, whatever the dashboard that what we are going to see created in Zoho Analytics, we'll be able to see them over here. Okay, so so that is how we have to integrate Zoho Books with Zoho Analytics. Okay, so now let's go into Zoho Analytics over here. Okay, so now by default, the next thing will be is, like, how we can handle Zoho Analytics. Okay, now by default we will have some certain set of dashboards that which we can generate it. Okay, so usually how it will happen is that you can either import your data somewhere, or you can, once you have integrated your Zoho Books with Zoho Analytics, your default reports that what we have configured in Zoho Books will just fall under your Zoho Analytics. A workspace would be created for you. Okay, and under this, if you wanted to create a dashboard, we have an option to create a dashboard accordingly, wherein by this way I'll be able to create a dashboard wherein if I wanted to see the date range which I would like to see, I can customize it over here. And whatever the reports you wanted, you can create a new reports if you if required. Okay, let's say I'm going to see the chart view, you will have an option to create it. Say for example, if I'm going to have my invoices as well as my the payments which I'm going to see now in such a way that I can just choose whatever the account which I wanted to choose here. So let's say my account name will be here, and you can even generate a graph based upon the the values that we are going to do it. So by this way you can create a dashboard, or you can you can have a detailed insights that how well your mistake reports can be good in a presentation. So that's how we can create a reports accordingly. So let's say for example, if I'm going to choose the total over here, you can just put your total column. Okay, I'm just putting as a subtotal over here. When I'm going to generate a report, that will give me the total whatever the values which I'm going to give over here, so in the dashboard. Okay, so once if your dashboard is good to go, and if you wanted to make it on a very frequent basis, you can even save your dashboard at every frequent time. Whenever you wanted it, you can generate your dashboard reports accordingly. Okay, and so probably all your dashboards and all your financial statements can be handled over here. So most of your, so what I can tell you is that, so most of your dashboards that what everyone would require is that we would have covered over here. Okay, if you require additional dashboard creation or a report creation, you can create it based upon your your customization, and you can handle it whatever the visuals you wanted. You can add it, you can put your charts, and you can generate it accordingly. Okay, and so all your values will be synced based upon the schedule frequency, and we will be showing them in the report, or whatever the reports you wanted to see, you'll be able to see them accordingly over here. Okay, so this is all about the basics of Zoho Analytics. You can just go and create the reports for each and every one based upon your inputs or your data. Okay, we have covered all the customizations and the how well you can perform well with Zoho Analytics, and what is the you can handle better with the Zoho Analytics. So we might have seen all these in the slides. So last but not the least, I would like to recap with all the conversations with you who are listening this session. Okay, so a quick glimpse or a quick skim that what we have seen over here is that. So I'll just quickly show you that what we have discussed, just in a quick brief overview. So likewise, we have a Zoho reports, like how we have handled it. Okay, we have a quick overview or a business overview. So under the business overview, we might have a P&L report, as well as the horizontal P&L report, that what we have seen over here, and even we can customize it, whatever the customization as we have seen right now. And likewise, we will be having balance sheet, all your overview, as in, like, the important business handles under your business overview section. The next thing will be your sales. Okay, sales and your receivables, your payments received. So whatever the your receivables and the payments, you can see over them under this head. Okay, and your purchases, likewise, you can just see your purchases, whatever the purchases we have seen right now, and your how well your vendor has been paying on time. We can see them under the AP aging details and AP aging summary. You can see how much we have to pay to our vendors under the vendor balance summary. So all these reports are much required for the users, which we might have covered all of them. And the last but not the least will be the inventory. Okay, so within the inventory, we might have seen all the inventory details and the inventory valuation summary. So earlier we might have seen that valuation which I told you in the previous section. So we also have a FIFO cost law tracking report, wherein based upon the the valuation that we have given, so we also have an option to generate a report and see what is the FIFO. Based upon the FIFO, how well the product and product out are handled. Okay, and your trial balance, you can see your trial balance and your account transactions under the accountant head. Okay, and you can see your trial balance over here, and your so let's say if you wanted to see your day book, which we might have not covered over here, as in, like, on the date of 1st of August, what is your transaction, you can see them on a particular one specific transaction. I'll be able to see them on the day book. So every business would need the day book, and they'll be able to see what is the today's transaction they might have handled. And we also given you an option to see all the journals, your trial balance, your whatever the reports that we might have. And we might have seen almost all the reports over here, but last one thing will be your audit trial report. So everyone would need this, what is the changes, or you might have happened all and we missed one thing over here, is that audit trial report. Within the audit trial report, you can compare a couple of reports and see within the audit trial what changes has been done. So let me say there are 5 to 6 changes which has been made, and I'd like to see what is the changes that has been happened. I can compare it and see that these are the changes which has been happened. I can compare it and see within the respective view. Okay, so over here we will also be able to see them, and the activity log report. So I think we have covered almost all the topics that what we have it on the reports and the analytics integration. The session might be useful. Whatever the topics we might have covered, how well reports in Zoho Books can be useful, and you can handle your reports, and you can just view them in a dynamic manner. The important thing is that Zoho Books would seamlessly sync your data within the reports module under Zoho Books in a dynamic manner. So as soon as the transactions are created, your data would get posted in the reports module. So that is one good thing that what we have in the application. So you don't want to wait for certain time for the data to get synced within the reports and view them at the later point. So with the dynamic capabilities that what we have given you right now, so you can make your business in a better way. Then we can just see all the forecastings, and you can handle it accordingly. Okay, so thank you so much all for joining the webinar. I hope that it might be good and the well insightful webinar for all of you. So if you have any doubts, you can just send an email to support.india@zohobooks.com. We have a toll-free line, and we are available from Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. And we have a multilingual support in all the languages which we have mentioned over here. Thank you so much for joining the session all.